you got to enjoy a little bit of the ACC Network NC State Takeover, which was jam packed to say the least, with 24 hours filled of NC State. And so, first of all, Greg, did you wake up at midnight to watch the NC State baseball versus Miami rerun?
I did not. I probably should have. That was a fun one, but, no, I did catch a couple of things in between, all the work that I was doing. I do like the hotel that we stay at down in Raleigh. They actually have the ACC Network as part of their cable package, which is one of the reasons why I like staying there during football season.
Hmm. Yeah, no. Well, and obviously, let us know too in the chat if there's a one specific game that you had rewatched or one that you enjoyed the most. Would love to see what everybody really enjoyed here in the comments here. But yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things that really stood out to me, Greg, is that I loved, and I know they always usually try their best to do this here for sure, but sometimes it's kind of hard to do it. Which is there is a ton of versatility within this 24-hour takeover. Again, starting off with baseball, but then you went into cross country, winning their fourth national title in the last 5, 6 years.
Years,
And then you
5 years,
got,
yep.
yep. And then you got football versus UNC, softball versus Louisville, volleyball, football, men's soccer, football, men's basketball, women's basketball. So I had three different football games, had one baseball game, and one men's basketball and one women's basketball. So, but then you also got cross country, softball, and volleyball sprinkled into it too as well. I mean, do those numbers, Greg, kind of do you read into any of that at all? The fact that we had three football games and you didn't have one other sport that had two.
Well, of course, football is always gonna be king. Football also takes up the most airtime, if you will, during a game for the most part. So you can, stretch your viewing hours a little easier. I would have definitely loved to have seen, you know, Isaac's national championship bout, but again, that's only a few minutes. Maybe they could have spliced in a couple of short things and maybe made a program out of that. But again, I think they were trying to do low budget, low effort things to put on there. But yeah, I thought it was a fairly fair representation of the season. Probably like I don't know if there are any games that I would have replaced it with, but yeah, maybe you could make an argument for a game or two here or there.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think just like you said, it's king, but also too as well. I mean, let's be real. I mean, men's basketball should be from a poll perspective just as big as football. Now, I mean, I know that you know I don't know. Like, yeah, I think beating the crap out of UNC by 24 is enough for NC State fans to stomach watching Will Wade be on the sidelines. Greg.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it's the the level of the game, right? If they're not going to show us beating North Carolina A&T by 50, like I don't think
Sure.
that's just it. It moves the needle, if you will. Like, it's fun to watch, I guess, but, um, they're gonna wanna get ACC games in there or high level games, and so it was just really hard, like, women, like, when I think we have our I don't think it's gone out yet, our Ethan and I's draft of our moments of the year. I don't think that's
Not
come
yet.
out yet, but
Not yet.
well, when it comes out, I would definitely, move people over to watch it, but we kinda had some trouble getting, like, a non-championship moment, if you will, just a run-of-the-mill game, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but we had some trouble finding, a couple of things in there.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, make sure to stay tuned here, and again, that's also to a big benefit of what, subscribing does for you, Wolfpack Nation, is that you're notified whenever we release new episodes, which as if you haven't been able to tell, we definitely are putting out a good bit of content here, and we are excited about it and hope that you all are enjoying it as much as we are making it. So, but yeah, no, let's see. So with that being said, though, I think that it's for especially like the Florida State game, I kind of chuckled even rewatching that game, Greg, because I know that starting the season, everybody's hooting and hollering once again about that Florida State uh Alabama game. And
Yeah.
it's just a full circle moment, I think. Just, it's I don't know, just I guess, I guess I was a little bit surprised, I guess is what I'm saying, in the fact that it
Sure.
was listed as a highlight, but and it's more of, probably honestly just because of the fact that I believe, what was it? That there was 2 muff punts from that Florida State team. So that was
Mhm.
probably maybe one of the biggest reasons why that game was replayed, just because I mean, how many times do you see that in a college football game? So, but yeah, so speaking of the football, Greg, I did want to jump into here is Athlon Sports came out with their preseason All-ACC selections,
Mhm.
and they had Duke Scott listed on second and third team, second team running back, third team kick returner, which I thought was interesting. Because
Yeah.
obviously, here's my thing, Greg, always with these special teams ones is that, now that Duke Scott is the probably gonna be your
Featured back.
workhorse running back, yeah,
Yeah.
your featured back, like, obviously, that's, a lot of guesswork, and the fact that is he I mean, he was last year, but is he gonna be this year? What are your thoughts on that, Greg?
I personally wouldn't. I think
Mhm.
there's definitely some guys that could fill that role. You have, I can't remember Snow's first name, but the kid from Buffalo, I think he could
Victor
be
Snow.
Victor Snow, thank you. I think he could be a potential candidate. Maybe a Jonathan Paler, if you know how healthy he is, I assume he'll be ready to go. I think that's one way you could get him, some touches. Again, because if depending on where you're slotting him, I would assume it would be running back. But at this point, it's third string running back. I don't know how many touches there are there. I definitely think there's some candidates other than Duke Scott, and I would prefer my lead running back not to be taking unnecessary hits.
Well, here's the thing, though, we know about Coach Doran, which is he's not afraid necessarily
He's not.
to put his stars, back there. I mean, you look at Casey Concepcion, he was back
Sure.
there for 2 years, so which I get. I mean, Thayer Thomas was back there, for punt return, which I mean, honestly, Greg, between the 2 of them, I'd be more nervous about having my star out there for punt return than I would for kick return. I mean, there's just so much possibilities with having your head straight up in the air. You have no idea what your opponent's gonna do. So,
Yeah.
but again, time will tell here, and we'll find that out
Sure.
here as we, start to hear a little bit more from practice here. But,
Yep.
so yeah, just to kind of finish out the list here. So Duke Scott, second running back, second team running back, Duke Scott, third team kick return, CJ Bailey, third team quarterback, Spike Sowells, third team offensive line, Harvey Dyson, third team linebacker, Teague Andersen, fourth team offensive line, Brian Nelson, fourth team defensive back. So, Greg, were you giving that reaction for CJ Bailey? I'm assuming a third team.
Yeah, I would assume they have Mensa as 1 and the kid from Cal as number 2. Is that what they're rolling with?
I don't have that in front of me. Just where
Okay,
NC
that's
State
fair.
fans land.
That's fair. I think Brian Nelson's a little low. I think he has the potential to be a really I mean, he kind of broke out last year, but I think he can really elevate this year. Again, I haven't looked at all the defensive backs and who's out there that could be ranked ahead of him. I'll be honest, I'll probably start getting into football mode here in the next week or so as we like you mentioned Joe Thuney. I need a little bit of decompression by the time baseball season is over to, take about a week or 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then I'm like, "Okay, now I'm gonna start getting ramped up back into it." But, yeah, I would be curious to look at the names on those to see and then just do a little deep dive on those names to see if they kinda check out, but, I definitely think there's a couple of guys on that list that could be in line for some big seasons, and, if things go right, they could, elevate their status on those lists come postseason time.
Yeah, well, and again, too, a lot of it just, I think CJ Bailey, you know extremely well what you're going to get. So I think honestly, third team quarterback for what he's done compared to the other two, sure, I can swallow that pill.
For now.
For now, exactly. No, no, just where we at right now. Yeah, now in terms of where he can be, sure, yeah, he can. Sky's the limit for CJ Bailey if he plays as
Mhm.
well as we expect him to play. But again, the problem is that there's still so many pieces around that style
Mhm.
also still need to get themselves worked out too as well. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, Duke Scott, he's stepping into the feature back. Feel very confident, which is why also too I think that that's why you see him as second team running back. So honestly, he was actually probably the one I was most shocked, just because the fact that he hasn't been a feature back yet, and so
Mhm.
there's definitely a
Well,
lot
he
of belief
flashed.
there.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
definitely flashed
he
in a couple
flashed.
games. Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Like, so from an NC State fan, sure, it makes sense why we're high because we obviously drink those couple of moments in, we drink all that Kool-Aid. But from a national perspective, it was like, okay, like obviously it's good to see even the national people's noticing those flashes as well. But yeah, Brian Nelson thought should be a little bit higher. Harvey Dyson is kind of another one where again, and here's the shocker here, Greg. Us as NC State, fan podcast, we're gonna think every single one of these are a little bit low, right? We're just
Mhm,
gonna be
of
like,
course.
all these guys should be first team all ACC, right? But again, this is a guy in Harvey Dyson. Again, we'll talk more and we'll break down these rosters here as we get a little bit closer here to the season here. But again, this is a guy that now has college football playoff experience,
Mhm.
and can play an extremely high level that really pops in terms of his tape. So uh and he can be the lead, one of the big leaders and one of the big breakouts of this team, honestly. I mean, you know,
Well, they're
he's
counting a
another
lot on
guy.
him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's no doubt about it. So but time will tell here. But it sounds like no real big gripes from this list, besides just Brian Nelson probably a little bit higher. Anybody that was left off?
No, not really. Again, I think this is gonna be a team outside of, Wolfpack Nation's gonna be a team of, unknowns to a lot of college football type people, just because a lot's not really expected of State this year, though I think they have a potential to I hate to use the word sneak up, but I think the schedule can be very favorable, and if guys
Mhm.
come together as different units on this team, I think that it could be a good season. I
Yeah.
definitely think it could be, but I also have to be reserved because there's been years where I'm very high and we don't meet expectations.